In 2008, Sheikh Mansour, a member of the Abu Dhabi royal family, purchased Manchester City through the Abu Dhabi United Group, and the club subsequently received considerable financial investment. However, it wasn't until 2011 when winning the FA Cup, and not until 2012 with their first Premier League that they won any silverware. Managers such as Roberto Mancini and Maurizio Pellegrini were very successful, but neither can claim to have taken Man City to the level that they currently find themselves under with Pep Guardiola. Pep's dominance of the Premier League and League Cup during his time at the club is frightening. In his 5 full seasons, he's won the league 3 times, and in the League Cup, they were the holders for 4 consecutive seasons. You can look at periods when Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, or more recently Jurgen Klopp were able to dominate English football, but the dominance of Man City under Pep ranks right up there with the best teams we've ever seen in Premier League history. In 2018, Man City won the Premier League, becoming the only Premier League team to rack up 100 points in a single season. In 2019, they won 4 trophies, completing an unprecedented sweep of all domestic trophies in England and becoming the first English men's team to win the domestic treble. Man City are undoubtedly one of the richest and biggest clubs in world football, but how has Pep been able to take Man City from Premier League challengers to the all-conquering side we see before us now? Finding the right goalkeeper. The boldest move that Guardiola made in his maiden season at the Etihad Stadium was axing long-serving goalkeeper Joe Hart, which proved his least successful. Hart's replacement, Chile international Claudio Bravo, proved ill-suited to the unforgiving cut and thrust of the English game, and his error-strewn displays cost City multiple points. But Guardiola took a punt in the following season, authorising a £35 million move to sign uncapped Brazilian goalkeeper Ederson from Benfica. But it has proven to be a masterstroke. The goalkeeper is a sturdy presence between the posts, and perhaps more importantly, his superb distribution has enhanced City's capacity to play out from the back. Joe Hart's career never recovered from Guardiola's decision to drop him, but you can't argue Ederson is firmly established as one of the best in the world and much better suited to their style of play than Hart ever was. Trial and error. Throughout Pep's time at Man City, I think it's fair to say he's had more money than most to spend when it comes to strengthening his squad. The £100 million signing of Jack Grealish takes his spending at the club to just short of the £1 billion mark. His biggest outlay came in his second season in charge, 2017-18, when the club spent over £200 million on defensive reinforcements alone, and around £273 million in total. Goalkeeper Ederson arrived for £35 million in the summer, alongside high-priced fullbacks Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy and Danilo, with centre-back Aymeric Laporte arriving for £57 million in the January window. The £43 million summer signing of Bernardo Silva added to the considerable outlay. Man City's squad and even their bench is filled with players who have cost £50 million or more. Not even Paris Saint-Germain boasts that kind of depth. But in conclusion, as wonderful as a coach that Pep clearly is, life will always be made easier for a manager when he can afford to make mistakes in the transfer market. If one player fails, then he can quickly be replaced by another player. Kevin De Bruyne. Simply put, what a player. There are a number of players who we could pick out for special mention that have been instrumental in Man City's rise, but none more so than Kevin De Bruyne. In his time at the club, he's been named the PFA Player of the Year twice, Man City's Player of the Year 3 times, and he's been included in the PFA Team of the Year 3 times, just to name a few of his impressive achievements. The Belgian midfielder joined the club as a highly rated player from VfL Wolfsburg, but few could have predicted the levels he'd go on to reach whilst wearing the light blue of Man City. Yes, it wasn't Guardiola that signed De Bruyne for Man City, but it is the Spaniard who De Bruyne credits most of all the coaches he's worked with. The Man City midfielder credits Guardiola for turning him into one of the best players in the world. And the Pep effect has made De Bruyne rethink his plans for retirement. Guardiola has inspired him to become a coach once he retires. De Bruyne said, "When you've worked with a man like Guardiola, you look at this sport in a totally different way. For the sake of football in my home country, Belgium, it would be good to pass on all that knowledge. Retirement is still a few years off yet. De Bruyne is still at the peak of his powers, and if he continues to work under Guardiola, you shouldn't expect to see that change anytime soon. Competition. The Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. Each season, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United hold title aspirations. And with Arsenal and Spurs desperately seeking for a return to the top table of Premier League title challenges, it is a competitiveness that is not rivaled in any of the other top European leagues. Historically in Spain, it is a two-horse race for all the domestic titles, with the El Clasico duo of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yes, Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone have shaken things up in recent years, but Guardiola's Barcelona are up there with one of the greatest sides of all time, and whilst I'm sure winning everything is fun, there does come to a point when there is little else to achieve. Similarly at Bayern Munich, Pep's Munich side are one of the best to have graced the Bundesliga. However, with little challenge from Borussia Dortmund or anyone else, Guardiola was ready to walk away after 3 years in Germany. At Man City, with the Premier League being so competitive and Pep's burning desire to win the Champions League without having Lionel Messi in his team is driving him year on year to make Man City better. Once that elusive next Champions League trophy arrives for Pep, you'd suspect that he may once again reach the point where he's achieved all he's going to in Manchester. Club harmony. Pep Guardiola took over at the Etihad with the aim of becoming Man City's answer to his idol Johan Cruyff. And in this time, he has stamped an imprint on the club that has the potential to firmly cement them as a global superpower. Stubborn, uncompromising and fueled by an unshakable confidence in the methods first instilled in him by Cruyff, Guardiola has done it his way. He saw City as a blank canvas, sold the project, he was wooed by the promise of fashioning City into a global superpower, and crucially, in his own image. In chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, he knew he'd have the financial backing to realise his ambitions, and with the chief executive and sporting director, two men he'd previously worked with, he knew he'd have the unflinching support of the club's hierarchy. It was an incredible offer that prized him away from Bayern Munich, footballing royalty, with one club legend after another, only too happy to remind him that the German giant's greatness long before his arrival, and the certainty it would continue long after his departure. Bayern were never going to be Pep's club, just as Barca weren't either, even if his team that won 2 Champions League trophies are considered arguably the greatest club side of all time. Luis Enrique won the trophy after him, Cruyff and Frank Rijkaard before him. Cruyff is considered the architect of what we consider Barcelona to be, and no matter Guardiola's achievements at the Nou Camp, he knew that that would remain the case. That was the appeal of Man City. Style. To be a football team that has a global attraction, it is necessary to play attractive football. Teams all around the world, from youth level up to professional ranks, try to emulate the passing style of Guardiola's teams. From the Man City Academy to their sister clubs all around the world, the City Football Group are playing Guardiola's brand of football. Players produced at grassroots level will be archetypal Guardiola players. This is something that Guardiola absolutely demands from the clubs that he manages, and long after he's left the club, his style will remain imprinted on the side, and that is as strong a legacy as any manager could wish for.